Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my series of 10 video games from scratch to learn how these things work. Last time, I really started building a very simple Pong game, and that game, it works. It's functional. I've got paddles that move. Let me click inside here so I can actually move paddles for each player, and I have some, real rudimentary gameplay. It resets the game as expected. However, one of the things that we're missing out on here is a few noticeable things. One thing is there like a vertical line to kind of divide the game in half, so you can see that there's two halves of the game as well as a scoreboard. So that's what we're gonna kind of try to tackle today. Is we're gonna put in that scoreboard, we're gonna put in that dividing line, and then we'll spend a little bit of time kind of cleaning up that code once we've finish that, because I'm sure we'll find, and I know that we're going to find some inefficiencies with the way it's been built. So let's get into it. All right, so here's where we left off last time. We have some pretty basic code here to control the different the input for the different players and the main function when the game runs. So the first thing that I want to build is I want to put the center line on the screen. That's a real easy one to do, and that's something that I'm going to have to just do every time I draw the screen to make sure that it's on there. So I will come here to the draw function, and I'm drawing my rectangles, I'm drawing my ellipse for the ball. So we're going to put it right here after we've drawn the ball. I'm going to say pygame.draw, and it's going to be a line. I'm going to draw on the window. I want it to be my white color. Oops. And then I want to put the positions. I'm going to have it start at the center of the screen at the top. So it's going to be width divided by 2 and 0. And then we want it to be the full height of the screen. So we'll put the height. And then it's going to all be in the same spot there because it's just a straight vertical line. So we're going to draw just that straight vertical line right there. Simple divider, simple, easy. All right, so we've got that. Now I need to be able to draw some text. I want to draw some text to represent the score, and so I want to put two little blurbs of text, one on the left, one on the right for each player. We're going to have it, I think I'm just going to have it be real simple. Do I want to put just the number? Now, I want to put some text there so you know that it's a score. I don't want to just put a number there. I think that's silly. So we're going to come up here. I got to create a few more things here. I need to create a font. I'm going to call it, font. Does that work? No, it doesn't work. I installed some new plugins. I thought maybe it was going to help me with some autocomplete, and it doesn't look like it's going to. Font. I guess it does give me the names at least so I can see what I want. I'm going to steal this. I know this one happens to work. I've used it someplace else. Bold. Yeah, if I'm not doing something custom that I have to include with the project, I want it to be something just generic that works. Let's start with the size of 40, 30, 28, 28. We'll try 28. Okay, so we've got the font. And now, actually, I want to move this down one. I don't want it to be above the color, because the next step I need to do is I need to create the text. And I want the text to be, actually it's going to be the score, so I'm going to have to implement some score parameters too. So let's go score, left player score, and right player score. So we'll have two scores, and then I think I want my text to say score space and then the score. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to say I'm going to create a variable here. That's just going to be the basics. What it's got. I call it a template. I don't know if I should call it a template. That's what I want the score to be on each one of them. Yeah, so with the score template, now I'm going to need to create two objects to represent that text. So we're going to say left player text. And then I have to use that font. And then I'm going to render. Ooh. Huh. It does kind of work. But not. There we go. Not exactly. So my text in this case is going to be the template. And then the left player score. So that should give me, it should say score space, left player score. Anti-alias, we'll say true. I think I want those to be true. Color is going to be white. And then background is going to be black. Can I actually hang on? Let's keep that. I like this notation. It helps me remember what everything is. Black, background black. So that should display, put the text for the left player into its own object. And so now to draw it, I have to render it as a rectangle. Okay, so left player text rect. Ooh, they're gonna get along. Left player text dot get rect. And now I'm gonna give it some position. Text rect dot. I'm gonna stick with left, right, and top, so I can position it in the right place on the screen. From the left side, how far out do the paddles go? The paddles start 10, so I want these to come a little bit farther. We'll say 20. And left player text rect dot top, right? Top. We're gonna go down 30. Why not? So that's everything I need. That gets me the rectangle. So now I need to come down to the draw function. I'll put it down here after the line. This is getting a little. I should put more comments in, but we'll get to that. That's the part. That's the next phase. So I just want to draw that on the screen. So I need to do what is it? It's window dot, is it blit? Yeah, there we go. Jeez. Actually, let's bring that back. I'll make it work this way. So I've got surface dot blit. Okay, my source is gonna be, that's the text object. So left player text. The destination is the rectangle that I created. That's the position of it. And then area is none, special flags. I can leave those off because I don't need those since I'm not using them. Now that should display the text. It did not. So what's the error here? Font.render takes no keyword arguments. Okay, so I can't have background black apparently. Is that right? Is that the reason it's not working right? Cool, why did that stay? Okay, so now I have the score. Looks all right, except that it doesn't update. But we'll fix that. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing, but for the right player. So now I should have, space that out. Now I have 2 scores that aren't there. Oh, I know what I did. I know what I did wrong. Very easy. Simple fix. Yep, I got this. I'm smart. I put them in the same position. I can't do that. Gotta say width minus 20. So instead of starting from the left, I want it to be to the right. There we go. Simple fix. Man, I'm good. Okay, well now we have drawings of text. And actually, I noticed, look how the ball is behind it because I put a background color. I wonder if I can make it... Oh, let's close it. Let's not let it run. So I wonder if I can make it not have a background color. Can I do that? Because then I could see the ball behind the score, which is a minor thing. There we go. That, for me, that makes playability a lot better because it looks... It's not hidden. There's no hidden spaces on the map or on the game now. Okay, so that's good. Now the problem is we need to update the score. So that will be done here when I do the reset, which when I did this before, I had done this with the intent of being able to change the score. So I will need to bring in the left player score and the right player score. And when the ball is less than 0, so it's on the left side, I will need to increment the left player score. Plus equals 1. There we go. And right player score plus equals 1. Now this is all great, but my draw function never updates that text, and we can see that here that it's doing it. At least I believe it's doing it. So let's go. We'll just demonstrate. We'll say left score, and we'll say left player score. And then we'll do the same thing here. We'll make it right. This will just help demonstrate that it is in fact updating. So see, left score, right score, values are changing as expected. But I'm not updating the text, and that's because this text here is static. So in order to fix this, I need to update that text. So I think all I need to do is if I do this, if I just copy this down before I draw it, it should work. And then we'll do right one. Now the problem that I can see with this, we'll just run it. We'll try it. So now the score is updating. Now the thing that I suspect is once we hit 2 digits, that spacing is going to look weird. Like it's going to be off because the text, the rectangle isn't changing, and it'll be very noticeable on the right side because it won't float over correctly. See how now it's closer? On the left side, it's not a big deal because there's all this space between here and here, but here it moved over. So I want to space that out. I want to keep this gap all the time. Because then if we go to 100, it'll roll off the screen and we won't see it. So to do that, I'm going to have to do all of this logic again for each. The left one isn't as important. In fact, it won't make any difference. The right one is the one that's important. So I need to do it on the right rectangle. And now I can. There we go. So now when I run it, it'll update and it'll take a little bit. Okay, so now we're coming up on 10. Oh, it didn't space out correctly, did it? No, there it is. It took a little bit of time, but it did. So now that gap is there. Okay, so now we're rendering it as expected. That's what I wanted to see. Okay, so this video is getting to be a little bit long, so we're going to call it a stop here for today. On the next video, we're going to dive back into that code. We're going to take all of that code that's in one file and we're going to break it up into some smaller files to try to make it a little bit more maintainable and easier to read, and make it also a little bit more modular so we can make enhancements to it into the future. So if you're enjoying these videos, I do really appreciate it if you would hit the like and the subscribe button on the channel. It does help out a lot. And then on the next one, I guess we'll come back, we'll dive into it, and hopefully get this game wrapped up. So until then, I'll see you guys then.